It is called She Persisted. It is written by Chelsea Clinton and illustrated by Alexandra Boyker. 13 American women who changed the world. So sometimes books have dedication pages, and this one does. Chelsea Clinton has dedicated the book by saying, inspired by Senator Elizabeth Warren and in celebration of all women who persist every day. And Alexandra Boyker dedicated hers, and it says, to some heroines of mine, Coretta Scott King, Sophie Scholl, and my mother, Berta Boyker. Sometimes being a girl isn't easy. At some point, someone probably will tell you no. Will tell you to be quiet and may even tell you your dreams are impossible. Don't listen to them. These 13 American women certainly did not take no for an answer. They persisted. Harriet Tubman was born a slave, and her story could have ended there. Instead, she persisted, escaping from slavery and becoming the most famous conductor on the Underground Railroad. She risked her life many times to lead countless slaves to freedom, including her family, friends, and strangers. Every person she led to freedom arrived safely. I should fight for my liberty as long as my strength lasted. Once Helen Keller became blind and deaf as a toddler. Few people thought she'd be able to learn to read, write, or speak, but she persisted. Helen learned how to do all three and not only became the first person with deaf blindness to graduate from college, but she used her story to help fight for more opportunities for people with disabilities in the United States and around the world. One can never consent to creep when one feels an impulse to soar. After her family fled poverty and the threat of violence in Ukraine for a new home in New York City, Clara Lemlich got a job working at a garment factory. She wrote that the factory's conditions made women into machines, and so she persisted, organizing picket lines and strikes that ultimately helped win better pay, shorter hours, and safer working conditions for thousands of workers, both women and men. I am one of those who suffers from the abuses described here, and I move that we go on a general strike. Nellie Bly became a reporter in part because a male writer had said that working women were a monstrosity, and she wanted to prove that women could do anything. At times putting her safety at risk, she persisted throughout her career in exposing real monstrosities, pretending to be a sweatshop worker and a patient in a mental hospital to show how badly people are being treated. I have never written a word that did not come from my heart. I never shall. Inspired from an early age by her brother's childhood illnesses, Virginia Apgar was determined to be a doctor long before many girls had such dreams. Even though she qualified to be a surgeon, the male head surgeon at her hospital discouraged her because she was a woman. Nevertheless, she persisted, becoming an anesthesiologist and creating the Apgar score to test a newborn baby's health, which hospitals all over the world still use today. Nobody but nobody is going to stop breathing on me. After Maria Tallchief moved to California partly to support Maria's dreams of becoming a dancer, she was teased by students in school for her Native American heritage and later was encouraged to change her last name to something that sounded Russian, since many professional dancers at that time were from Russia. She persisted, ignoring all of the taunting and poor advice to become the first great American prima ballerina. It never occurred to me to say it hurts to do that. As a 15-year-old riding a bus home from school in Montgomery, Alabama, Claudette Colvin was expected to give up her seat to a white woman just because she was African American. In her refusal to get up, she persisted in taking a stand for what's right, helping to inspire Rosa Parks to make the same choice 9 months later, and act that many point to as starting the modern civil rights movement. I know then, and I know now, that when it comes to justice, there is no easy way to get it. You can't sugarcoat it. You have to take a stand and say, this is not right. When Ruby Bridges was in kindergarten, many schools across America, particularly in the South, still refused African American students their equal right to an education. Ruby wouldn't be treated like a second-class student, and she persisted, walking for weeks past angry, hateful protesters to integrate an all-white elementary school in New Orleans. That fateful walk to school began a journey, and we all must work together to continue moving forward. As the first woman to serve as both a U.S. representative and a U.S. senator, Margaret Chase Smith could have let the fact alone be her legacy. Instead, she persisted in championing women's rights and more opportunities for women in the military, standing up for free speech and supporting space exploration. The head of NASA once noted that we wouldn't have put a man in the moon without Margaret. The right way is not always the popular and easy way. Standing for right when it is unpopular is a true test of moral character. Sally Ride always believed women could succeed in any math or science career. Although not everyone agreed, she persisted, and she became the first American woman in space. But that wasn't enough for Sally. She traveled into space once more and then created science and engineering programs specifically for girls so she could help generations of young women achieve their dreams too, both on Earth and in outer space. Young girls need to see role models in whatever careers they may choose, just so they can picture themselves doing those jobs someday. You can't be what you can't see. Oh, my allergies. Excuse me. I'm outside. It's very windy. It's making me tear up. When as a kid, Florence Griffith Joyner visited her father in the Mojave Desert, he would urge her to run faster and faster, to run as fast as a jackrabbit, even when she had to leave college to help support her family. She persisted in her training on the track, then went back to school and got faster and faster. Her unbroken world records in the 100-meter and 200-meter sprints set the 1988 Summer Olympics mean she is still the fastest woman ever. When anyone tells me I can't do anything, I'm just not listening anymore. Oprah Winfrey's grandmother expected Oprah to follow in her footsteps and become a maid. Oprah knew, even as a little girl, that her dreams would take her somewhere else. She persisted in turning those dreams into her reality and became a media superstar, working in movies, books, magazines, theater, and most of all television, where the Oprah Winfrey Show remains the highest rated talk show of all time. The biggest adventure you can ever take is to live the life of your dreams. Watching fictional judges on television inspired Sonia Sotomayor to want to be a real-life judge when she grew up. She knew she'd have to speak English as well as she spoke Spanish, study hard in school, and manage her diabetes before she could one day wear a judge's robe with a gavel in hand. She persisted, eventually becoming a Supreme Court justice and the first ever Latina to sit on America's highest court. I have never had to face anything that could overwhelm the native optimism and stubborn perseverance I was blessed with. So if anyone ever tells you no, if anyone ever says your voice isn't important or your dreams are too big, remember these women. They persisted, and so should you. I know that all of you, whether you're a girl or a boy, have a dream. And so, like this book, you need to persist towards your dream. All of you probably know that me, Ms.Falzone, I'm an artist, I'm a writer, and I'm a filmmaker. And I have made my own short films. I've written award-winning screenplays. and I've exhibited art in the United States and outside the United States. So no matter what your dream is, don't let anybody ever talk you out of it, because your dreams are important. You're going to go far if you keep persisting. I'm not going to stop persisting, so you better not stop persisting. So I'm going to show you just some things that I have in my sketchbook. So I had previously made a short film and I was working on the poster for it. And you do preliminary sketch things. So I have in my book my preliminary sketch, which I'll show you. Hopefully you can see that. It's the sketch. And then I went into the computer and I scanned it and I made it bigger. And then I had to do what we call old-fashioned screen printing or printmaking, which is a graphite transfer. So what you do is you put pencil on the back, and then you tape it onto the surface that you want the final copy to be on. Then you take a pen and press really hard and trace the entire thing. This was a photo that my mom took of me at the Getty Museum. And what's really funny is this is my favorite part of the museum. It's their what we call the Rococo era of decorative art, so furniture and what do you call it, plates, cups, things like that. And the Rococo section has these beautiful beds that you just want to lay on, and they're squishy and beautiful and pretty colors. And I always joke with the people who work in the Getty Museum that I really want to have a night to myself where I can go and lay on the beds. And they always say to me, "Oh no, you can't do that." And I'm like, "Watch me." I haven't done it, it's just a joke. But they have a children's section at the museum where they have a reproduction of the bed, and it's plastic so they can clean it, no one gets sick. And this was me on that reproduction plastic version of the bed. And so I always show them this online. And what's really funny is on their Instagram page, they ask people, "Well, what do you want to see today from the museum?" And I told them I want to see the Rococo beds. And the bed that they showed was this one. So that's a funny story. This one was also from my apartment in Silver Lake, Los Angeles. And yeah, I really love this one. It's very popular online. So not just me that likes it. I have a lot of these with books because I love to read books. So, and oh my goodness, here's one of the beds from the Getty Museum. This one's the pink one. I love the pink one. So, yeah. So yes, the Getty Museum, if you're watching this, you know I love you. I'll be back soon. Or 2017. It was a peace project. It was all about finding your inner peace. And then this is me. This was actually after the hurricane that happened in 2017. And I just got back from evacuating. And I just was so tired, laid on my bed with my dog, and fell asleep. All reading books by Reina Grande. She's one of my favorite authors. She's originally from Mexico, and she lives in Los Angeles now. So a lot of her books, they're about her childhood or fictional books inspired by her upbringing. And this is kind of how I don't waste paper. So you can see that sometimes I will put two before I cut them apart, because this is very, like, paper for an artist is very precious. You don't want to waste it. I've made a lot of mistakes, but you just go with it and you call it a happy accident, just like my role model Bob Ross always said, happy accidents. It's okay, we all make them. So that's what I had to show you for today, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy this video. And I'm going to be doing more of these, and I will be sharing them publicly on YouTube, Instagram, every place that I am socially present, not just on the school page.
So I want everybody to be able to